Hello, lovelies. Welcome to the start to a new weekly reading vlog. It's a bit late in the week, but I'm always late in the week starting these vlogs, so who's surprised there? Today's Tuesday, and I haven't read in quite a bit of a time now, so it's time to pick up some books. Last week, I only read Can't Get Enough by Candy Ryan, which I loved. I gave it 5 stars. I knew I was gonna love it because Hendrix, she was the one that I loved from the beginning. Once she came on page and Before I Let Go, I really loved her, so I knew I was gonna love her book. And I'm so happy that I read the series at the time when all of them are out, because most people had to wait for Hendrix book, and a lot of people love Hendrix too, so they were really waiting. And I loved it. It was so steamy and fun and heartbreaking at times too, because of the whole topic surrounding her mom. Like, that had me scared some points because I really didn't want something to happen to their mom, and I was satisfied with it. I loved it, and I loved the romance. I love that her romance was kind of like forbidden in a way because of the whole situation with her and like the other people in there. It was kind of forbidden, and I like that. And I love how Maverick was so, how do you describe it? He didn't care basically, and he was like so intense about Hendrix. Like, he really wanted her, and he showed it like immediately, which I love. And he showed it big too. He went all out for his girl, like champagne roses. That was so sweet. And he was all out in a romantic way, and also in like a sweet way where he cared about her emotional state and like her whole situation with her mother. Like, he cared about that, and he tried to help as much as he could because he was familiar with that as well. So I really love Can't Get Enough. But yeah, I already read that one last week. I didn't do a reading vlog on it because I was in a bit of a reading slump, I guess, or something. It took me a whole entire week to read that one, but I still loved it. But this week we're trying to get back into the reading mood, the reading swing of it, and pick up some books that are going to, the audiobooks are going to be going back to Libby soon. So first off, I have The Princess and the PI by Nikki Payne. This will be my first Nikki Payne book. This one I don't really know what it's about. I guess it has a murder mystery. A girl that isn't actually a princess. It's just her Reddit username that she has. She's called herself the Princess PI because she likes to investigate stuff, but like only on Reddit. She's not an actual investigator, but she's also with an actual investigator in this book because she is at the forefront of a murder, and she's the one being accused of the murder. So she's trying to like get justice for herself. And something about her brother, something happened to her brother in the past. So don't really know what it's about, but it's the one I have to read first this week because I have 4 days on Libby for the audiobook to go back. And as you guys know, I like to read with audios because that's how I focus better with reading. Reading physically alone, it takes me much longer because I just cannot focus. But once I have the audio of the story, once I listen to it, I can sit down and read much longer the words on the pages. I also cannot just listen to the audio alone. So it has to be both. Or I can read physically alone or on Kindle, but it just takes me a bit longer, and like my focus is just not there as much, which might be because of the cell phone, to be honest, because these times we're just always on our phone, like short attention span. But I didn't used to be like that when I was younger. I was reading all day long, multiple books. Those were the days. And next I want to read Eternal Ruin. I don't know if I'm going to finish this week. This is a thick book, but we'll see. I do want to finish it this week though, so I'm going to have to like quickly get through the first book, The Princess and the PI, so I can get to this thick one because I want to know what it's about. I hope I love it because I didn't love the first book, so I hope I love this one. But yeah, this is the reading plan this week. These two red spine books basically is what I want to read: a romance and a fantasy, basically. So yeah, let's start this week's reading vlog. So I read the first 50 pages of The Princess and the PI. Unfortunately, I'm not vibing with it. So I'm just gonna go on to reading Eternal Ruin for finally, like, just jump into it right now because I want to read something today, but the book I chose wasn't a great start. So let's start off with the Eternal Ruin and see if I like it much better. Hopefully I do. I didn't love book one, but I feel like I will love book two. So yeah, that's the plan because I want to read something. So I hope it starts off with action because of where it left off in book one. New semester, they say. Okay, look at the map. The map is beautiful. Yoxley University. All right. Yeah, this is so much better. So much better. I read 8 pages and it's already so much better than The Princess and the PI. I don't know. I was just not feeling that book. Maybe I'm not in a contemporary romance mood anymore because I've read one this month and I usually read like one or two in a month. So I don't know. But I'm gonna put it down for now. I'm not gonna force myself to read it because I'm in November TBR. But Eternal Ruin, I am liking it way more than that one, even though I only read 8 pages. Because from page one of The Princess and the Pia, I was like, I don't know. And also, it's kind of focusing on a church setting, and I don't like reading about churches, so that's why I was also put off by that. So yeah, but this one now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a whole lot that happened in book one. So as Kidan mentioned certain stuff, I'm like, I don't remember that happening. So I'm gonna read it more and see if I recall as I read, because that tends to happen. If not, I'm gonna look up a summary of book one because I already read book one. I'm not gonna reread it just so I can read book two. If I feel confused, I'm gonna look up a summary. But yeah, I'm enjoying it though. I like the intense feelings Kidan is feeling and her rage. She always has rage. So feeling that immediately into the story, I'm ready for the action. That's what I want. I want an action filled book. And that's definitely what Eternal Ruin is given. It says it's a long book, so it's gonna take me a while to read it, but better than reading what I don't like just because it's shorter, you know? Yeah. Going on to chapter two. Hi, happy Friday, y'all. Um, it's not gonna be Friday by the time I post this, but it's Friday for me. I'm happy. I feel nice. So happy Friday. It's been several days since I've updated this reading vlog. I'm not going to be honest, I'm very slow at reading this week. I'm probably going to make this into not a weekly reading vlog, but probably it's going to go into next week, just until I finish my November TBR, basically. So yeah, that's the goal. I am going to be deviating from my November TBR, but I do want to read at least Outbound or A Steep Enough Blood that I have to phase out. At least that, one of those. But I did get some new books. Right here, I got Good Spirits by DK Barson. Planning to read this one probably in December, early December. And I also got the Marriage Narrative by Claire Kahn. She's a nice author. I do have her other book. Was it Loving in All the Haunted Places? Something like that. I need to read her books because I think I've only read one book from her, and I literally love that book. I gave it 5 stars, but I've never read anything else. But I do like to follow her along with her publishing journey as to what she's releasing. And I've basically bought all her books that she publishes. I just not haven't read all of them. I know it's sometimes you have like that one author that you like your work, but you haven't read them yet. I've only read one by her, but I really love that one. So, and this sounds interesting, so that's why I bought it recently. So these are two romance books I bought recently. And then I have a book note on. So in here, I bought Bookshops and Bone Dust. I was thinking that I'm not going to continue the Legend and Lache series because I thought that it's gonna not be as fun with other characters, or it's not gonna be focused on the main character. But once I read the synopsis, it actually is focusing on Viv. So I'm gonna still read it. I want to. I was looking at it because I read it last fall. I read it last November. Legends and Lattes. So I'm like, I might as well pick this one up. So I'm planning to read this one, maybe along with Eternal Ruin, because Eternal Ruin, I'm going through this book very slowly, y'all. Very slow. It's good, but it's just I'm taking it so slow. It's one of those fantasies that I just read it slow. I don't know. I do have 9 days on Libby for Mockingbird Court. That is the sixth book in the Shady Hollow series that I've been enjoying the past few weeks now. So I might pick that up, or I might just pick up bookshops and Bondas. Most likely, I'm gonna read this one. But yeah, that's my little update, midweek update, because I haven't been reading. I just been buying books, but I'm gonna read them eventually. Yeah, but yeah, Eternal Ruin. I'm loving it. I'm loving the vibe between Kidan and Susenos. Honestly, I wasn't like even up in book one, but in book two, girl, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I've just not. I've just not. It has different perspective that I've just not been enjoying. So I just hate her sister. Her sister gets on my nerve. It reminds me so much of the Crow Prince, where Jude and her sister. I really hated Jude's sister, and this series. It comes to Crow Prince, so it makes sense that because it's like twin sisters as well in this one, so it makes sense. And like they're vampires instead of fays, like evil fays. We have evil vampires. It's honestly very different, other than the twin sister and looking for the sister. It's very different, but like it has similar vibes where I just hate the other sister. And I hated the other sister. I hated her too. And I'm hating this one so much. And it's the worst thing with the audio. She has such a sweet voice. I'm like, ah, I don't like you. It pisses me off even more that her voice is so sweet. She just reminds me of a damn snake. I hate her so much. But yeah, like that's the betrayal to leave your sister like that, and the things that Kidan had to do for her, and she just doesn't care. It baffles me. It baffles me. So yeah, that's my update with Eternal Rune. I'm loving it for sure. Just going through it slowly. I think by Sunday I'll finish it, but that's because I'm gonna be picking up either Mockingbird Court or Bookshop and Boundas during that time. So that's why. But today I'm gonna reach the halfway mark. I already have a tab right here. I'm gonna read up to the halfway mark and then see what I can do by tomorrow. But I'm going to work soon, so that's my little update. I have 2 hours of reading time today. So 2 hours of reading. I'm gonna go through this because I'm at page 190. I need to get to page 256, I believe, for it to be the halfway mark, so I can comfortably read it Saturday and Sunday and get to the finale. Yeah, yeah. That's my little update for. Good morning. It's Saturday today, so I'm going to be starting Mockingbird Court by Junior Black, sixth book in the Shady Hollow series. I plan today to listen to the majority of this audiobook, basically from start to finish. I'm going to be doing some cleaning up for Saturday, so I like to do a little clean here and there. So this room right here, I'm thinking I'm gonna make it into my hobby room, basically, because my baby's still young, doesn't want to go transfer to a room alone, which I'm fine with that. So I am gonna let him stay in our room for now, and this room, it still has a bed in there for when he's ready. But I think I'm gonna transfer most of my bookish stuff in here, and like other like writing equipment, which I've already transferred my typewriter and all that in here. So I want to clean this room up, make it more cozy, because honestly this room has been more like a junk room. I've just been putting everything that we don't use in this room, honestly, and this area I've been using to film and stuff. So I want to fix this room up a bit and do some recycling, because I have a lot of packages, like the box. I don't throw them away in regular garbage because I don't want to do that. I want to recycle them, so I'm going to bring them downstairs to the recycle area and yeah, like squish them up so they are appropriately packaged for the recycle bin. Yeah, I'm gonna do that and I listen to the audiobook of Mockingbird Court. I think for next week I'm gonna be reading A Sleep Enough Blood by Hafsa Faisal, because I want to finish that duology. I want to like feel like I completed a series. So I'm gonna do that after I finish reading Eternal Ruin, which yesterday I got to the halfway mark, exactly halfway through, like 50% exactly. It said on the audiobook because I was reading along with the audio. So I'm at chapter 43. I have it open up right here for when I've gotten into like a good percentage of the way through Mockingbird Court. I'm gonna pick up back Eternal Ruin. So I plan to finish it Sunday. So today maybe I'll read like 100 pages. It doesn't really matter because once it hits the middle part, the second half I always read faster. So it doesn't matter how much pages I have left. I'm gonna finish it fast. So today I might reach 50 or 100 pages. We'll see. I don't know. but I'm gonna pick up Mockingbird Court now because if I pick up Eternal Ruin first, I'm just gonna sit there and read Eternal Ruin all the way through. So it's better I pick up something else that I want to also read first because I know myself. I'm gonna just binge read the rest of that one because I've already gotten to the halfway mark and it's getting more intense, more complex, and more interesting. But yeah, I want to listen to some mystery. I just love this series, the Shady Hollow series. So that's why I've been listening to it for the past like 2 months now because I'm enjoying the series. It's fun. And I hope it's not the end. I think it isn't based on what I read in the synopsis. And I think this is the last in the series, but who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it regardless. So as it turns out, this week's reading vlog was just me reading Eternal Ruin, which I didn't have a problem with that at all. I was enjoying this book all the way through. I did start this week reading vlog on Tuesday, so total of 5 days of reading just this book. And granted, I would started Mockingbird Court last night, but I've only got to the 67% mark on the audiobook, so I haven't finished that one. I am going to finish it today, later today, but not in this reading vlog. I'm going to be finishing it on my way to work because I have like an hour left in the audiobook. So on my commute to work, that's what I'm planning to listen to. And so I know I'm going to finish it later, but let's talk about Eternal Ruin and how much this book was completely different from Immortal Dark. It was totally different. I don't know, maybe because I've already established like a relationship with characters in Immortal Dark. I did love Kidan. I just felt like the storyline, the plot line itself was a bit messy. And like it wasn't done that well in Immortal Dark, in my opinion. So that's why I didn't connect that well with the first book, and I gave it 3 stars. I remember it was 3 stars is what I gave it. And same with the Cruel Prince, where I gave the Cruel Prince 3 stars. It was so crazy because this book it comes to Cruel Prince. I didn't love the first book in the Cruel Prince, and I didn't love the first book in this trilogy either, which was Immortal Dark. But this one though, from page 1, I was immediately in love with the whole plot line. The whole plot line and all the characters in here, I just love to hate them. Like a majority of the characters in here I didn't like, but at the same time, I love seeing them because I'm like, oh, I hate you so much. I don't know how to explain it. I just love those books where the characters are so dark and just cruel, and this book gave that. It upped it in this one, and the chemistry between the 2 main characters too was just, and the ending has me wanting more. That is what I love about books that have like more books in the series, where it ends up not on a total cliffhanger, but it just has you wanting more. So I'm anticipating book 3 for sure. I know it's going to come out next fall, which is so far away because fall is almost done now, and this is not going to come out. The 3rd book is not going to come out until next fall. So that's crazy. That's crazy. But I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, with all that being said, I am giving this book 5 stars. Yes, 5 stars. It went from 3 stars the first book to 5 stars the second book. It's such a total change, which I was scared that I wasn't gonna love this one either, because in trilogies, the second book tends to not be as great as the first one for people. And that, like, considering the first one wasn't great for me, I was afraid that the second one would not be good either. But I feel like the first one, it was good. I saw the potential it had. That's why I didn't say I wasn't going to continue the series, because I did like the first one. I liked a whole lot of stuff in there. I just felt like the world building was a bit off, in my opinion, in the first book. It was very confusing, and no matter how I went back and reread parts, I was just like, I don't understand the way that this world is being explained, which I felt like it was much better in Eternal Room. Like, I loved it way more. And then obviously I love the chemistry. I love the intensity of the whole book was so intense. Just all the way through. Never failed. All the way through. Every time I wasn't reading this book, it was on my mind. And I tabbed so much. I don't know if you can see it, but I tabbed so much. It's dark, so it's so hard to tell. But yeah, I did a lot of tabs. Yeah, you can see it now. I have a lot of tabs in here. That's why I knew it was going to be a 5 star. So I'm like, I can't stop tabbing. I can't. So yeah, I loved it. A new favorite. A new favorite series for sure. What I love about this book is like Kidan. I like how dark she is, like throughout the whole book. And even she hated how dark she was, but I loved it. And I still don't really like her sister, but I'm gonna be honest. Towards the end, I started to understand her more and like her more, which the author did a great job because she made me hate that girl. Even in book one, the characters are very complicated, and I love that. I love it when the author can make you like change your mind on a character that you hated because she like gives that emotion with them and like shows like their reasonings. And once their reasoning makes sense, I tend to like get swayed a little bit. And I feel like I'm getting swayed a little bit, but not enough where I would say I love her now. Just enough where I'm like, okay. So yeah, Eternal Rune was a lovely read. It took my whole week because it was just so fun and it's long, so I didn't want to rush through it. Rushing through books like this is never good. You just don't grasp all the information that well. And it was a total dramatic turn from book one to book two. Book two had so much more action, and I love action. So everything was in this one. So I loved it. It really gave vampires in this one. Like book one, I felt like it was just Kidan and one vampire for the majority of the book. Like, yeah, she was in a whole school of vampires, but I feel like the vampire action wasn't that much in book one. But book two, it gave so much more. It just came full force with so much action and supernatural beings in this one. And I just loved it. I loved it. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's reading vlog. Maybe I'll be coming out with another one soon because I love reading vlogs. So thank you all. See you in my next video.